This is A Taste of Dawn. I'm your host, Dawn Garcia, and this is a show about indulging in this crazy thing we call life. All right, you guys. Well, hello, and welcome to our new day. Today is the first Wednesday that I'm doing this show, and I'm excited about just kind of trying to take on 2 hours instead of 2 days with 1 hour, and lots to say. But the reason I did that was because I thought it might be more fun to just sit here and be able to fill up the time and have more artists come in and have more callers come in and just really, excuse me for 1 second. I wasn't prepared to go on the air just yet. There was no countdown yet. But I wanted to just say welcome to Wednesdays. And today we're going to have a really cool show. We have Alexander Kanish, who is the director, excuse me, the director of events and promotions at Film Break, and that's a really cool organization. I will let him tell you all about it when he gets here. He's running a tiny bit late because of traffic. We also have Cynthia, who is the chef from ABC's The Taste, and she was a participant, and she's also an incredible, incredible woman, and she's got a brand new cookbook, and it's cooking with a Brazilian twist. She's from Brazil, and she's actually going to be calling in via Skype from Brazil, which is pretty cool. And then I also have James Wilks, who I know as James Lightning. I used to work out with James in Orange County at Innovative Results, and Corey Beasley is actually my health and fitness columnist for the magazine, but he happens to be an incredibly well-trained trainer. And James is a UFC champion fighter, and he just has a really interesting story. He's a husband and a father, and really a huge advocate of plant-based eating. So he's actually a vegetarian, very strict vegetarian, and he's a big guy. He's not just he's not like a skinny guy. He's super lean and fit, and he's a very, very strong athlete. And I think it's a very interesting element to who he is as an athlete, that he is a vegetarian, because he found all these professional athletes that were also vegetarian, and just a different style of life and quality of life, and really kind of eating your way around some of the things that I think most athletes face. I mean, they're told to eat a certain diet and everything like that. But again, when he calls in, we're going to just go into great depth about kind of the influx and health behind being a vegetarian. And I'm not a vegetarian. I mean, I'm the one that blatantly says bacon should be a food group. But I do eat, I'd say I eat as a vegetarian probably 6 days a week, maybe. Sometimes I don't have meat at all, but I do find benefits to meat. But I know that he comes from a very different background, and I think it's just fascinating to hear his approach. He's spent a lot of time devoted to the evolution of learning about the benefits of eating plant-based foods. And so I'm just curious as an athlete to hear his approach, and I think it will be a great listen, and a great you won't be able to see him, but you'll be able to hear him, so you'll be able to see me while I talk to him. Yeah, so basically today I kind of want to just explore everything that I can possibly explore in 2 hours. So, 12. Okay, perfect. Thanks. I got it. Okay, so we're just kind of working on everything. We've fixed some new things. So if you are listening and you're around the world, you could actually call in anywhere from Skype and just add Rant Radio Network to your contacts. And then you can get in touch with me, and we can talk via Skype, and it'll just be a fun conversation. However, don't call when I have callers calling, because we won't be able to pick up the line. Anyways, so I just wanted to say welcome to Wednesdays, and I'm a tiny bit tired today, but I'm going to spruce it up, get my coffee, my caffeine injected, and we're going to go from there. But basically what I wanted to talk about today, before I have my guests arrive, is I've been taking on a lot of endeavors. For one, I went from having my magazine, and I was the only writer, to now I have 8 writers, and one of which is going to be going to New York for 2 months. She's an incredible actress, but she was also the editor of a very prominent lifestyle magazine in Orange County. And she's going to be heading to New York to do some coverage for me on plays and art and some of these, just exquisite restaurants and chefs that I get to talk to, but I don't have the pleasure of going to dine with just yet. So all of you guys in New York, please take very good care of Stasha. And I will make sure that she has everything. Just a little bit. Make sure that she's got everything that she needs to be taken care of. But it's really exciting to have gone from, we're going to move the camera just a tiny bit. maybe a little bit over so he's not cut off when he gets here. Tiny bit more. Oh yeah, perfect. Okay, so it's just going to be me for now. When Alexander gets here, we'll shift it. But when I started this, I had no idea that the things that I was so passionate about, I would be able to create a platform and a voice for so many different people. And it really has become, quite honestly, the best part of my writing career, and really the highlight of my entire career as a writer and somebody who's a big supporter and avid lover of the arts. And to me, the arts does not just encompass going to a museum or going to a play. To me, it's music and food and wine and even some of these premium spirits. I mean, gosh, the stories behind some of these whiskeys and gins, it's pretty impressive. Bourbons and all that. I mean, there's such a process, and the barrels and how they age the barrels and how they mix things and, the real science behind it. I find it fascinating, and I do find that to be a beautiful part of what I get to do. It's learning so much. I mean, to me, there's no greater education than just living and being out there and experiencing some new things. And I find real value in that. And honestly, just talking to people that I've never spoken to, or striking up a conversation at a restaurant with one of the chefs, and just really getting to the heart of why they prepare the dishes. There's always a story behind every chef. There's always something that's sparked. And then I mean like chefs that this is really what they do, not just somebody who's kind of getting by. I mean a chef that they really own up to being a chef, whether they are a professionally or classically trained chef, or they are a home chef turned chef. Regardless of your education, what matters more is the passion that's emitted. And I find that to be such a beautiful thing. And then of course, music has been a huge integral part of everything that I have done. I was recently asked by a friend of mine to create a soundtrack, and like 10 songs that I thought, just whatever, my favorite songs. And it's impossible to do that because depending on where you are in life and how you're feeling, it changes, obviously. But I found it really interesting because it said so much about me, and I realized what an influence music has had from, my very first concert was Neil Diamond when I was 10. And I just grew up with this huge range of music. And so now to be in a position where I get to support other artists that are emerging, and some that are already established, just kind of finding a new voice or a new groove. I love that I am able to give you the platform. It's really, this is what my life is about. This is like what I've always wanted to do. And to be able to have that kind of voice is pretty astounding and wonderful. And I really don't take it for granted. And then of course, I started out with this conversation, I don't want to miss the one thing is when I start writing, to me, writing it's very visual to me. The way that I write, the things that I see, I'm not able to produce a good piece or a solid piece, in my opinion, without tapping into everything, all my senses. Really in my head, I have to be able to visually smell what the food that I'm talking about, or smell the club, or whether there's smoke in the air, crisp, cold air, or the smell of the ocean, or the smell of human beings just sweating and dancing and whatever it is. And then, of course, the sounds. And there's so many elements to my writing that has given me an opportunity to see life in a very different way. And that could not have happened if I didn't expose myself to things like museums and art and music and just the cultures that I've been fortunate enough to experience. And to me, that's not only beautiful, but it's absolutely essential to living a high quality life. And I don't mean high quality, like you don't have to have a dime to experience these things. Just walk down the street and open your eyes and take on a conversation with somebody that you would never have spoken to. And you'll find that somehow it awakens something in you if you have an open mind, of course, while you're doing it. But when I did this magazine, we're going on, my second year will be May 27th. And I really need to do something spectacular. So I'm trying to figure out the best way to celebrate that 2-year mark, because the year mark was really just sort of a trial and error. Had no idea that it would even be a real magazine. I mean, I just was kind of messing around, and my obsession with aesthetics, I wanted it to be pretty, and that was really more my focus. And then as it evolved, it became this sort of natural, raw, organic progression into exploring all these great. It started out with chefs because food is such a huge, crucial part to me of how to live and how to be. And being able to just sit and dine at a restaurant and change the way that I experienced dining. And then being able to write that and experience that and allow somebody else to read it and experience it. I remember what kind of prompted me to go, wow, this is really something different, and figure out that maybe I tapped into something that I didn't do it intentionally, but I unintentionally tapped into something that was very unique to me. And that was, I got this email from somebody who was in Nebraska, and they wrote me this beautiful email and said, I'm in Nebraska and there's no way that I could go out and experience LA or have these great restaurants. But when I read your stuff, I feel like I'm sitting next to you and I'm experiencing this with you. And somebody else said, because you're so vocal and you're so open and you're so willing to just expose all the parts of yourself through your writing, it allowed them to feel like somebody out there kind of got that. And really there's nothing else I would want as a writer or an artist or a creator. And then, like I said, the magazine just sort of took a turn. And I realized that I love talking, obviously. I have a radio show, but I love talking to people. And when I'm in the process of writing, somehow I don't like to ask the formulaic questions to anybody. I want to ask something that's going to get people just out of their shell and open them up to something totally unique to them. Because, like I said, I don't think any single person is the same. So, it just started happening naturally that I was interviewing these chefs, and it started out with interviewing chefs that I knew. And then really, I would say the transitional period for me was going to Austin. I went to Austin last February, so a year ago. And, we have less than a minute. So I'll just say that it started in Austin, and it was the process of, first of all, I had gone at the time with my boyfriend, and it was such a great trip because he had lived in Austin. And so he kind of took me and really just allowed me to explore Austin in a way that he loved most. And so through that, I was able to find things that I loved most as a result. And that, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. My phone is ringing and it's my guest. So we're going to have to just answer that, please. Okay. So anyways, I also, sorry, that totally threw me off. You know what? We actually have to take a break in 10 seconds, I think. So, I will come back to that, but it was the experience of going to Austin that really kind of changed the way that I saw my writing. And really it was experiencing a culture that was just so familiar. So we will come back right after the break and continue that conversation. And that's it. Thanks, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Once again, this is your host, Dawn Garcia on ATOD Radio, savoring life one moment at a time.
This is Anthony Sykes, your host for Sykes Accounting and Consulting radio show, where we help small businesses grow and give you tax tips every Tuesday from 6 to 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Catch us here on rantradionetwork.com. Thank you.
We are the Three Guys Rant with Arvin, Mike, and Phil.
Coming to you on the Rant Radio Network every Monday from 6 to 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. You can call us at 855-69-THE-3-GUYS.
It's not the Three Guys. This is why you should turn in, because one has Tourette's, the other one's illiterate.
You really should listen in. You never know what's going to happen.
855-69-3-GUYS. G-U-Y-S and the number 3, not the.
Faces for radio, voices for the deaf.
Look forward to talking to you.
Hey, I'm audio candy. I don't know about you guys.
What up, foodie freaks? It's Chef Bev Lazo with the Culinary Trend Show. Join me and my brigade every Thursday night from 8 to 9 p.m. where we will be cooking up some crazy stuff that will give you the appetite for discussion. It's all about the good food, good friends, and good times. Only here on rantradionetwork.com.
Hi, I'm Aaron Michael Sanchez.
And I'm Kelly V. Dolan.
And we are excited to announce our show Live with Aaron and Kelly is on Rant Radio Network. What do we talk about on our show, Kelly?
We talk about everything from entertainment to business and tech, and we have a few laughs in between.
That's right. Go check us out on rantradionetwork.com. That's rantradionetwork.com.
Check it out.
Hi, everyone. This is A Taste of Dawn. I'm your host, Dawn Garcia, and this is a show about indulging in this crazy thing we call life. All right, you guys, we are back, and as you can see, my guest has arrived. So, do you want to be addressed as Alex or Alexander?
You can address me as Alex.
Okay, so this is Alex Kanish.
Kanish.
Kanish. Okay, sorry. All right, there we go. So he works for Film Break, and before we kind of explore that, I'm going to just finish my thought that I was having before you got here, which was talking about the things that I was passionate about, and just how I explored. I need to move my mic. Is that better, Alan? Okay. Basically, just how the magazine, it's going on, it'll be 2 years at the end of May. And initially, it was never intended to be quite what it is. And it just naturally evolved, and it kind of changed gears for me when I went to Austin in February of last year. And it changed the way that I saw everything, really. I don't know why I've traveled the world and everything, but I think it was the process of writing. I became a little less inhibited and sort of broke through my own wall and just really explored observation and recognizing that there's so much sexy in life, right? So, and then, of course, I was able, because my background is in film, so we'll make this transition. I started out working as a makeup artist and did special effects. And for me, like, I was remembering the first film I ever saw, I think, was actually Wizard of Oz. And we grew up, I used to watch Charlie Chaplin all the time and all these old black and white films. And I remember films were really important to me. So you can kind of tell me, for one, because I think Film Break, obviously, I don't think you could be a part of that if film is not something you're passionate about.
Absolutely.
So why don't you kind of tell listeners a little bit about who you are, and then we can kind of break into how Film Break started and how you got involved.
Sure. So I was actually born in Europe, and Hollywood in Europe is this sought-after fairyland that most people can never get to. So when we came out here with my family in '96, I was, ecstatic. I jumped at the opportunity. I started acting in high school.
Mm-hmm.
That led to me going to film school, further exploring Warner Brothers, the internship program with them. Then I went to UCSB and graduated in the entrepreneurship program over there. And then
How did you make the jump from being an actor to being an entrepreneur?
I love the idea of making something out of nothing, and producing a film is a very entrepreneurial venture.
It's wonderful.
So it just felt like a natural transition. So when I graduated UCSB, I moved back down to LA and I found Film Break. Taylor actually went to school here in Whittier, which is funny that we're here.
Shout out to Whittier.
Right, Whittier College. So Taylor McPartland is the president of Film Break.
Yes,
just saying.
I have that. It is by far the most accurate and hysterical and absurd show about being an extra.
Actually, Taylor and I were writing a script together about being extra, and it was called Background Action.
Oh, I can't wait to see that one. Or read it anyways. Was it shelved? It
was shelved, and we don't talk about it anymore.
Although you just did on the air. So Taylor, you might have to revisit that.
We may have to. But anyway, so Taylor and I, we stayed in touch. I looked at what he was doing on Facebook. Obviously, Film Break was the main thing on his newsfeed. So I was interested. I came out to some of his events, and we reconnected. I just wanted to help him out. I wanted to help him grow the attendance rate for the mixers that he was hosting, and we grew from 30 people to now about 300, 400.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, and one thing led to another. I'm working distribution services for them right now. We closed 4 films since we launched the distribution program. Yeah.
So are those through different studios, or are those through agencies, or?
The films are solely independent endeavors.
They are.
Yeah. Film Break is very independent film friendly.
So I will have to say that when I 12:27. Okay. When I started going to my background, like I said, is film, and I knew who I wanted to work for and what I wanted to do, except for I just transitioned into not being. I wanted to be Oz, basically. I wanted to be the woman behind the curtain that kind of. I love the idea that it took hundreds of people to make one collective idea possible, and to me, that is the most beautiful aspect of film. However, since the change in the economy, studios used to fund films. Now studios don't fund films ever. Very, very, very rarely do studios fund films. It takes, I remember Alejandro, I wish I could remember his last name right now, who did like Amores Perros, and he did Beautiful with Javier Bardem. He had to go beg other filmmakers for money. He's an Academy Award winning director.
There you go.
And he was like, it took, and most of these things, when you go to, I always go to the Academy Foundation to their symposiums every year, and it's always the nominated. I do documentaries and shorts and the foreign films. Foreign films are my favorite of all genres in film, just because I feel like they're less formulaic. 13 production companies sometimes to fund a single film, which is absurd to me. And then you have to have the funding. And now, I have an agent, my agent at William Morris, so I get the other side of it, right, as the screenwriter. You have to have, it's like, it takes so much work to get the money, and then you have to still pitch the movie, even when you have the funding. It's such an ass-backwards situation now. And it's so weird to see that, and then their ticket prices go up. And I'm like, how is this possible? Who is making the actual money now? Because actors, they still make the bulk of it. But I remember one of my friends, who I cannot say his name, but let's just say he's 3 times he's been nominated, and he's won the Oscar once for cinematography.
Wow.
And he sent me this message, and he was like, Dawn, highest grossing film of all time. Didn't see any residual from that because they got their pay, and the director and the production companies are the ones that make all the money now, or the actors. And he was like, unreal. It was crazy, Dawn. After all of that, he got the promo, and of course their reputation still has to keep working. It's not like before where you'd get like the smart people who did Star Wars, who they were like, well, we don't get much money now, but we get a point from the film. Those are like the toughest negotiations. Yeah. I'm like, that's what I want. I want a point from the back end, because that's where you make all your money now. It's distribution.
Absolutely. With Tom Hanks and Forrest Gump, he was the main driving force of the film, and he was very smart about it. He got the back end deal on it.
No, that's what you have to do.
So that's
marketing. This is like the George Lucases of the world, right? Yeah. It's all about branding, and your business strategy going in cannot be for the love of film, which is unfortunate, because you really have to think long term.
Yeah.
Yeah. So in merchandising that's like where the big money's at, is merchandising, right? Those are the George Lucases. So anyways, I know it is unfortunate. So indie films, this is why I love that there are things like Film Break. And I don't know if we'll get to that, but there's all these different avenues to support indie films. Like there's Muse through LACMA. I don't know if you know.
I'm not familiar with Muse, actually.
Oh, Muse is an incredible support platform. It's through the LA County Museum of Art, and you can buy the membership's like $70 a year or something, $50 I think if you're already a member. And you get all these free screenings. Like they added the free screening for trance. They have these great symposiums and forums, but they support indie films. Like there's this thing actually with I'll have to show you this, but Gael, where is it? Let's see. The young women filmmakers from Mexico, and it's Gael Garcia Bernal, Diego Luna, and Pablo Cruz, and they created this whole thing to support female filmmakers, all indie films, and it's all private funding, but it's a way to get the word out and allow these people in other forums. So that's why I love things like Film Break, because Film Break's all online, right? Everything. We are. So explain that. Do you plan on expanding?
Right now we're just trying to set our roots in where we are right now. So Film Break, we're an online platform. We help filmmakers develop and grow an audience, understand their 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 audience, have features on the side that allow you to upload any sort of media about your project.
Okay. And how is that protected for filmmakers?
So, I can't tell you fully. That's up to the filmmaker. They need to have the proper copyright protection.
Right. So I would suggest to everyone really quickly, I will not submit anything unless it's been registered with the WGA.
At least, that's right.
Always, and it's $30 to register your film, your concept, your idea, and you can always incorporate and add to it. And then, of course, Library of Congress, just as a backup. If it's an actual document like a treatment, register it.
Yeah. Exactly. Listen to Dawn. She knows.
Oh, I learned early on not to let anybody take anything. It's still not protected completely because it's very, very difficult to protect a creative idea. I mean, nobody's reinventing the wheel, really.
Yeah, at least it's something. It gives you a little bit of backing, but once the script is written, you need to really get a great patent attorney, or IP attorney.
I need a good one actually. So maybe you could.
All right, we'll
introduce me. We'll talk. Yeah, I mean, I rely on the agency really, but it's a very tricky world. So needless to say, though, I do think anything YouTube, it's impossible to completely protect. So in a digital world, which is really a lot of what Cross Campus is and everything else that's going on, right? There's
the whole Silicon Beach.
Which I love, right? Yeah, no, I think it's wonderful. I think that I'm seeing, at least through my own entrepreneurship, is that with the online magazine and the digital platform, there is a lot to foster creativity out there, which is so nice. And it's a little bit overwhelming sometimes, and there's a little too much crap. And really deciphering quality crap, I think, is a lot of research. Oh, all right. Sorry, we got to take our break really quick. So we will be back in like 2 minutes or a minute and a half. Ellen, a minute. Thanks for tuning in. Once again, this is your host, Dawn Garcia, on ATOD Radio, savoring life one moment at a time.
This segment's sponsored by Mucho Macho Michelada. Whenever you got to spice up your beer, Mucho Macho Michelada is for you. Only real men.
Did you say mucho macho?
Mucho Macho, baby, where the real men come to drink.
Hey, I don't always drink michelada, but when I do, I drink mucho macho michelada.
If only Arvin could be a little more mucho macho.
Will it put some hair on my chest?
No, but te quema entrando y saliendo.
The experts know that for pastry, Baker's Bodega has it all. Exclusive brands like Westco Bankmark, Satin Ice, and Pastry Pride. One-on-one day seminars for cake decorating and gelatin art. So for our service, wide range of ingredients and supplies, and for the low prices, Baker's Bodega has it all. But you don't need to be an expert. Baker's Bodega, 7869 Paramount Boulevard in Pico Rivera. Come, we're waiting for you.
We are the Three Guys Rant
with Arvin, Mike, and Phil.
Coming to you on the Rand Radio Network every Monday from 6 to 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time.
You can call us at 855-69 The Three Guys.
It's not the Three Guys. This is why you should turn in, because one has Tourette's. The other one's illiterate.
You really should listen in. You never know what's going to happen.
855-69-3-GUYS. G-U-Y-S and the number 3, not the.
Faces for radio, voices for the deaf.
Look forward to talking to you.
Hey, I'm audio candy. I don't know about you guys.
Hi, I'm Aaron Michael Sanchez.
And I'm Kelly V. Dolan.
And we are excited to announce our show Live with Aaron and Kelly is on Rant Radio Network. What do we talk about on our show, Kelly?
We talk about everything from entertainment to business and tech, and we have a few laughs in between.
That's right. Go check us out on rantradionetwork.com. That's rantradionetwork.com.
Check it out.
Hi, everyone. This is A Taste of Dawn. I'm your host, Dawn Garcia, and this is a show about indulging in this crazy thing we call life. All right, you guys. So really quick, I know you guys are hearing that intro and outro, but we recorded a new one, so hopefully we'll get that one up. It's much more fun and exciting and far more refined. Lost my computer. That's okay. I was trying to be all clever with that. So I would like to talk about Thursday's event. So
Yes.
So and I'll just do a little intro on that. So I had the pleasure of meeting you and Darren, right?
Darren Marble,
Yes.
the CEO of Film Break.
Yes. So we met at Cross Campus, which is this wonderful entrepreneurial sort of
Hub.
I was like,
It's
almost like this wonderful sort of, I don't even know. It's like a little universe that's created in Santa Monica on Broadway, which is so cool to say that you're just on Broadway.
Broadway and Lincoln.
Yes, and it's wonderful. And Ronan and Dan have done an exceptional job of creating this environment for fostering anybody in. It's more digital oriented, I would say. I don't think there's not a lot of. I think everything is digital oriented.
Yeah.
Correct.
It's all
So,
tech.
and I'll be joining actually completely.
Wonderful.
Yeah. So.
More tequila shots.
Oh God! And I actually contacted Karma,
Oh, did
Robert
you?
from Karma.
Oh yeah, Rob Grant.
Yeah,
he's the man.
so we need to talk about that because I was
Okay.
like, I really wanted to see if they were interested in sponsoring some of the, even the Austin thing that I'm doing to be
Awesome.
like the voice of the Austin trip. So
Okay.
for those of you looking, I'm getting sponsors for the Austin Food and Wine Festival. So you would be on every post and every feature and have on air mentions, and then of course in Austin would be the voice for Through a Taste of Dawn. So it would be shameless promotion for you.
Wonderful.
But so when we were speaking, he said that you guys were having an event on Thursday, and you had mentioned that you create these events to really just connect other filmmakers and people in the industry together. So
Exactly.
why don't you tell listeners a little bit about Thursday?
So every month, or at least we try to do every month, we have our monthly mixer series, and essentially we meet up at some of the best spots in LA, Station Hollywood and Sky Bar, and now we're doing it at Whiskey Blue at the W Hotel in Westwood.
So yes, let me just give you guys, we were making sure that we had the correct address. It is 930 Hillgard Avenue, and it's in the area where UCLA is. So it's more Westwood, actually. But yeah, so please make sure you guys check it out, Whiskey Blue. And the only way to go.
So the only way to go is by signing up for a Film Break account. It's completely free to sign up. You just go to filmbreak.com, click sign up. We'll know that you signed up and you're on the list. Simple as that.
So do it because it'll be a lot of fun, and I'm going to be there. And let's talk about that.
So yeah, we have a DJ coming out, roaming photographers, step and repeat, a lot of really great industry people, actors, actresses, producers, writers, directors. I mean, it's always an awesome, awesome time.
And your turnout, you said, is pretty big.
The turnout is pretty big, yeah.
Which is amazing because
Yeah.
let me just tell you, in LA, those are the best places to go when there's a big audience. Sometimes even an intimate audience is actually good depending on the circumstance. But for film or anything related to that, excuse me,
Have some water.
Sorry, to that world, it's conducive to your progression.
Yeah.
To meet and talk and.
Absolutely. I mean, it's all about networking in the city, and I know some people don't like it, but at Film Break events, you're guaranteed to find a good group of people to hang out with.
Yes, and look at him. Come on, you guys. Seriously, you guys want to go. But okay, so talking about how your role is. So you're in charge of distribution.
So my primary role with the company, I'm the director of distribution services. I find the films, I contact the filmmakers, I start the negotiations, and we close the deals.
So you're kind of like the go-to guy.
Yeah.
Really. So if you guys have a film, which I know a lot of you out there do, and is it documentaries as well?
Yes. So the primary qualification about your film, it has to be feature length. That's the main thing. It could be a narrative of any genre. It could be a documentary, but as long as it's feature length, we can definitely take a look. Right now, unfortunately, Film Break is not distributing shorts, but in the future, we very much would like to. It's definitely in the works.
Yeah, I would actually say that this year when I went to the symposiums, while the documentaries were impressive, the features, it was really the shorts that were by far, like every really like men and women in the audience, just from seeing like a 2.5 minute clip in tears, like
Wow.
really, really profoundly moving. And it was a huge, if you ever get a chance to go. It's, those are like $5 tickets or something.
Look,
like
I'm
that.
definitely signing up for this program. I
No,
think
it
there's
is-
going to be a lot of benefit.
Yeah, well, and you got to do the Muse too. So this is at the Academy Foundation.
Yes.
So it's always the 5 nominated films, or 10 now. Documentary shorts, documentary features, and then Foreign Film Symposium. They have an animated one as well. But this year, I don't know. Last year was the first time I started to really get involved in the doc. Oh no, 2 years ago. That's when I met Sebastian Younger and Tim, and I told you about Restrepo and all of that. And I'm finding though that the need to have a voice is very strong. And so these films, whether they're shorts or features, documentaries or fiction or live action or whatever the genre is, with the exception maybe of like science fiction, there's a lot of heart to these stories now, and I feel like people are using this as their platform to really, in a digital age where people don't say, or they say too much, right? Texting, and like everybody just texts and you wish they would just stop before they text, right? But in a digital world, I think people feel a bigger need to be heard,
to connect,
right? Because we're very disconnected. That's my big fault with technology is
if it's computer mediated communication, you're just gonna lose all sorts of social cues and
social skills.
And social skills, yes. You'll become socially awkward.
No, right? No, I find people don't have conversational skills.
No.
I'm sure you were very friendly when I met you, and I think...
It was the tequila.
I met you before the tequila. But I do think, though, basic conversation. Like, I always... like I say hi to everybody. That's my thing. I'll say barista, I'll ask them how they're doing, whatever. And it astounds me how shocked they are. Somebody said hello.
Yeah, it's really quite weird.
I mean, and you're European, so European.
It's a little different, yeah.
Speaking of, I know we need to really focus on Film Break, but I had to research where you were from, and not realizing that it was recently divided from Czech. 92? Is that
Moldova?
Moldova, yeah.
So it was. I don't know if it was a part of the Czech Republic. It was part of the Soviet Union.
Because I did all my Wikipedia research on this country. I was like,
well done.
Yeah, I was like, what is this place?
Yeah, it's a tiny little country right by Romania and Ukraine.
Mm-hmm.
It's landlocked by Romania and Ukraine. The best wine in Europe actually comes from Moldova.
Really?
FYI.
Okay, well I'm gonna have to seek this because I need to know.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so you have to tell me where exactly, if there's vineyards that you know that I should be reaching out to.
I'll speak with my contacts.
You speak with your contacts.
My Russian contact, yes.
I know, right? So you speak Russian.
I speak Russian, yes.
And English.
Yes.
Any other languages?
I used to speak Romanian because the national language of Moldova now is Romanian, but I forgot everything, unfortunately.
One of my dear friends is from Romania, Simona, and it's beautiful women in Romania.
Yes, they are. All over Eastern Europe. Come on.
Right. No, it's true. Right. The mail order brides for a reason. I'm not allowed to say that, but it's true. No, but I mean, really, the beautiful models and everyone, they're really Eastern European.
Yeah, the gymnasts.
For the most part. Oh, right. The gymnasts.
Come on
this
now.
Is so true. I
now.
forgot about that. How can I forget about that?
How can you forget about that?
But they're tiny. It's like
what's wrong with
you
that?
have polar opposites. No, because you have these super tall, beautiful, like Russian models or Eastern European models, right? And then these super quick, fast little gymnasts.
Little agile ninjas.
They are. They're totally like little ninjas, little contortion ninjas. So anyways, okay, not to get too off track, but I just was curious about that. I thought, oh my gosh, where is this country? Because I saw that on Crackbook. And and I thought, I've never heard of this country. And so I had to research to figure out exactly where you were from.
Well, there you go. The more you know.
The more you know.
Da-da-na-na.
I know. Thank you for that plug. That's ABC, right? Or NBC.
Many moons ago, perhaps. Or did they still do that show?
Oh, no, they still do.
Really?
It's like little, 30-second segments.
Oh.
Yes, the more you know. Yeah, and it's all the actors.
I watch Netflix. And
oh,
Hulu.
no. Shame on you.
I'm the digital guy. Come on now.
But really, you don't watch like ABC Go or HBO Go or any of that?
Not enough. Hardly.
Oh, you need to, because that's where the real programming is at, by the way. The premium programs, the premium channels, greatest programming, great writing, total freedom, a bigger platform, and you'd get way easier funding for some of the things that you're working on.
Very well done.
Yeah. So there you go.
Okay.
All right. So anyways, so Film Break is how old?
The company was conceived 3 years ago.
Okay.
We relaunched in November of 2012, and we've been in our current state of being since then.
And what was the change?
So originally we were more of a LinkedIn for the film industry. We were basically connecting filmmakers around a great project. So if I had a script that needed a good director and I was already a DP and I knew what to do, then we talk. However, we changed that whole model, and now we solely focus on marketing and distribution.
Which is probably more powerful.
Yeah,
powerful
that's where
tool.
the money is.
Yeah, yes, and we all know that realistically you can't just do free forever. No, you can't.
But if I just may,
you may.
You are still very much encouraged to connect with other filmmakers on the site. You're able to follow their progress, their projects, and you could easily reach out to them.
I think that just connecting, because the thing is, I'd say the most difficult thing in film, in the industry in general, is not everybody gets lucky out the gate. Not everybody gets the opportunity to meet all the people that they want to work with.
Very
and
rarely.
It's a very high climb. And but finding like a small group of people that I would suggest finding filmmakers that inspire you, and then finding out who work with them.
Yes.
And then just sort of building this bridge, because building the bridge and surrounding yourself by people, you will always branch off.
So if I may add to that.
You may.
I may. So find filmmakers that can keep you accountable, in your goals, can keep you going, can keep you motivated, which is a huge, huge factor.
We have a caller, by the way.
Oh, really? Put on the caller.
Okay. Line 1. Hello, you are on the air. Hello? No, I see nothing. I'm having nothing. Hello? No. Hello? Nothing. All right, we lost a caller. We'll have to try that again. Technical difficulties. Continue on with your...
Yeah, that's, find people that can keep you motivated and can keep you accountable to your goals. That's very important.
I think that's the hardest part for creativity, really.
Which is why you got to work at places such as Cross Campus, where
Yes,
everybody
I
is
know.
in their zone, working and grinding away.
Oh, no, I got so much done in my little 30 minutes that day.
Yeah.
I pumped out all these proposals, pitch deck.
There you go. Yeah.
I was ready.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
I think
Do not work out of the house. Let me just tell you that.
Oh, yeah. Hence why I will be there at least 4 days a week while I'm here Wednesday. Back on the line? No? Okay, we lost a call. Anyway, so if you could just tell me 5... Oh, no? We have to take our break right now? All right, we'll be back. You're getting a lot of time.
All right.
Thanks for tuning in. Once again, this is your host, Dawn Garcia, on ATOD Radio, savoring life one moment at a time. Welcome to the Monster Marketing Group, your one-stop shop for all your marketing needs. Anything you need to make that marketing and advertising campaign stand out, we're your people. Concepts, design, production, social media, anything that you can dream up, we're going to make happen for you. And we can do it in a very quick turnaround. Please give us a call at 888-49-MONSTER.
What up, foodie freaks? It's Chef Bev Lazo with the Culinary Trend Show. Join me and my brigade every Thursday night from 8 to 9 p.m. where we will be cooking up some crazy stuff that will give you the appetite for discussion. It's all about the good food, good friends, and good times. Only here on rantradionetwork.com.
We are the Three Guys Rant.
With Arvin, Mike, and Phil.
Coming to you on the Rand Radio Network every Monday from 6 to 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time.
You can call us at 855-69 The Three Guys.
It's not the Three Guys. This is why you should turn in, because one has Tourette's, the other one's illiterate.
You really should listen in. You never know what's going to happen.
855-69 Guys. G-U-Y-S and the number 3, not the.
Faces for radio, voices for the deaf.
Look forward to talking to you.
Hey, I'm audio candy. I don't know about you guys.
This segment's sponsored by Mucho Macho Michelada. Whenever you got to spice up your beer, Mucho Macho Michelada is for you. Only real men.
Did you say mucho macho?
Mucho Macho, baby, where the real men come to drink.
Hey, I don't always drink michelada, but when I do, I drink mucho macho michelada.
If only Arvin could be a little more Mucho Macho.
Will it put some hair on my chest?
No, but te quema entrando y saliendo.
Hi, everyone. This is A Taste of Dawn. I'm your host, Dawn Garcia, and this is a show about indulging in this crazy thing we call life. All right. Hi, you guys. We're back, and we actually have a caller. So I'm going to pick up the line and get Trey on the line. Hi, Trey.
Hi, Dawn. I just wanted to call in.
I know. Big, the first time you've ever. I know.
But I wanted to say I am so amazed by you.
Thank
are
you.
wonderful, and I've known that for a long time. You're very talented in everything you do, and I am so proud of you. And anybody out there, Dawn is talented at everything she does. So
Far cry
I'm so
from
great.
singing in
It's
the
so great to hear
bars when we were
you
like
do what you're
17.
doing.
Do you remember that? Singing in the bars.
Well, Dawn, you're gonna have to start singing now.
Oh no. Do you remember that, Trey?
I'm sorry?
Do you remember when we would sing at the bowling alley bar?
Oh, yeah, we did.
Oh, giving him something he can
you
feel,
wanna
sweetie.
say the song?
In Vogue. Oh God, no. I mean, I could belt it out, but I don't know if I should right now.
Well, we can spell it respect.
Oh my God, respect! I forgot about respect. I think I used to
remember
sing that.
that? Oh
I
my
did that when I
gosh,
worked at Magic Mountain. They'd put it on the jukebox
Yeah,
and have me like sing songs. Like,
and
oh
then
yeah,
I did
and I busted
I
out.
took the mic away from the guy and did an impersonation.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
that
I
was
think that
like
was
somewhere
pretty
else
the
in
first time we-
Burbank. Good God, we were like children, so should not have been at a bar drinking Zima. I think, like really crappy pretend beer or like wine coolers.
Oh,
you
my
know?
goodness.
Oh yeah, I was 17.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, I never got
Like when
carded.
they were older enough that we can talk about that.
Yeah, well, a little bit too
No,
old to
it's
talk about that. Yeah, now I'm like excited when I get carded. And I do. I get carded.
You know, I
Thank
shaved
God.
and I actually started getting carded again. I'm so happy.
No, it's not really.
Yeah.
I mean, men, you don't need to be. Men could be like 65 and you're still going to be debonair. It's not fair. See, women, we have to start finding science.
Science.
Yeah, we have
Hey,
to invest.
a friend of mine is 25 and he's dating someone who's 50, and she looks great.
So I just wanted to say
Oh,
how
yeah.
proud
Okay.
I am and how great you're doing.
Thank you so much, Trey, for calling. And are you doing anything? I know you work sometimes on some films.
I'm sorry?
Are you working on anything right now?
I have Operation A&E.
Nice.
Which is, I don't know how much I can talk too much about it. I filmed the TV show The Chandlers
Mm-hmm. Nice.
recently. I was in Refuge from the Storm, which is being shown in different theaters throughout the United States now.
That's
Cool.
awesome.
Yeah, that's
Congratulations.
great.
It starred Michael Madsen. And
God, that
so-
reminds me. Didn't we used to watch him? It was him and De Niro, and those were like our boys.
Oh, well, yeah, definitely. And coming from Chicago and then, being able to be there with, like, Michael Madsen, it's like, wow.
'Cause you
but
went to
De Niro,
second-
one of my ultimate favorites.
Of course, yeah. Who doesn't love Bobby?
And,
he was,
of course, James Dean, which you know.
I do. Yes.
But,
Which is
yeah,
really
and
like the
so-
present day
but,
Franco.
Yeah,
if he
it
could
really,
just not
and I
play
filmed
some
him
of the same
great
roles.
at William Hearst's house in Cambria, not the castle. So it's been interesting so far.
Cool. Well, thank
but
you.
I definitely,
Thanks.
definitely am excited about you doing your thing and seeing you involved. You've done so much, and everything that you do, you are so talented at it.
Thank you, Trey.
So
You've always been
and I just wanted to let you know that.
Well, thank you, honey. You've been a great advocate of mine for a very long time, and it means so much to me. And I'm glad that I know it's been a while, but I'm glad at least I got to see you at the Pageant of the Masters a couple years ago. So we need to make some time. And you can come. Why don't you come on Thursday? Why don't you come to the event? Go sign up for a film break and then come out on Thursday night at the W.
Yeah, Dawn's gonna be there.
Well, Thursday I'm actually have a moving thing going on.
Oh, okay. Well,
moving.
got it. All right. Well, next
you
one.
know,
We will
that's
have
part
to.
of it, yeah. But definitely I do want to meet up with you, and that will probably be like after next week. I can start.
All right. Well, and I'm going to start doing some more events, so I will keep you in the loop. But I have to go now and finish up with
And maybe
Alex.
some red carpets with me.
I would love to. I have some pretty clothes, so we'll have to show off my clothes.
I have
And I know
some-
you
I have
always
some
have like the greatest dresses ever. So, all right. Well, listen, we will we'll connect offline, and I'm glad that you called in. Thank you. You know I love you, and I will talk to you very, very soon.
Take
Good luck. Have a great show, and just know I'll be listening. Okay.
Thank you, sweetie. I'll talk to you. Just text me. Just text me after this. Okay. Bye. I don't know. There was a delay for whatever reason. There's a bit of a delay. Anyways, yeah, We had some crazy times as children.
Well, haven't we all?
Oh, yes. Mine, thankfully, no one really knows that much about. There's a select few people that know them, so all of it kept under wraps.
All right. Well, same.
Right?
Yeah.
Nothing like a little DEFCON 5
undercover
action.
That's just what makes life interesting.
It is. I have my secret
keep an air
stories.
of mystery.
I like my secrets.
Sometimes.
Oh, no, I like my secrets. I think my secrets are important, and I keep them to myself. So, okay, so we have managed to keep this going for a while. So, I want you to I'm going to make this your homework.
Sounds great.
So, I have a membership to Muse, and I think I get one guest.
Okay.
So we'll go, but every Tuesday. So they have $2, $4 for general admission, but Tuesday matinees, and it's like great old movies.
I would absolutely
and they show
think it's
only
great.
35 millimeter films.
This is like what Hollywood was all about, and
This
is
is
no
how,
longer.
No, but see, this is how I grew up. My grandmother worked for Max Factor, and so she used to work with all these famous celebrities would come in and.
Wow, Fantastic Planet.
Oh yeah, no, they're amazing films.
Oh my gosh. That's playing on Friday too.
Yes, so and it's like $4. No, is it Friday?
Yeah, April 5th.
Okay, perfect. So, but they have their matinees, and then they have the Kubrick exhibition.
Oh my gosh.
And it is an extraordinary exhibition
we're
at
going.
LA County Museum, and
We're going.
It's beautiful. And then they have they have this huge, which you would appreciate as a film person, this huge case of all of his lenses. Like lenses he's collected, lenses he's used.
No.
Oh yeah, and
Oh,
they're
man.
beautiful.
I gotta send that to my my cinematographer friends. They're gonna freak out.
Oh no, it's beautiful. It's so beautiful. I mean, some people don't understand how prolific that is, but
Look,
I'm thinking,
a
do you
lens-
know the world that he
The
showed
eye,
us?
the eye that sees the action is what makes the film.
Oh yeah, no, the cinematographer I want for my film would direct for the first time because he's the only one who can tell story visually, and there are very few people. Like, example, Atonement. So that story would never have been the same if it wasn't shot the way that it was shot.
Have you seen Baraka?
No.
Oh, you gotta see Baraka.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, I will check that one
It's
out.
kind of it's completely there's music, but it's all just visual storytelling, and it's incredible scenery. It's completely profound.
Well, see, and my particular screenplay is it's a period piece.
Okay.
It's Oscar Wilde. So that's all I can say.
All right.
And so finding somebody that can tell that kind of story with that power and do it in a way that hasn't been done, because they've screwed that movie up. And I will say that publicly. They have screwed that movie up a dozen times at least. It is awful, the movie that they've done. It's terrible because they make this one. I don't know why I'm being all secretive about it, because there's only one book that he ever wrote. But they make the mistake of making this movie science fiction. And it's a piece of literature that has stood the test of time. It's still required text in Europe. And Dorian Gray is the...
Okay. I unfortunately haven't read it.
Oh, my God. You have to read it because it's so apropos. The whole point is...
I swear Donna's going to just give me so much crap.
I know. I'm going to have you so much homework. Come on, man. You've seen Potemkin at least, right?
Yes, I have.
Okay.
That was film school.
Oh,
Battleship
yeah, right?
Potemkin.
You know, I remember in my film art class, I spent an entire semester dissecting The Graduate. That was my project. Wow. A whole semester.
Okay.
Every aspect. Screenplay, editing, sound, or set design, art direction, the directing. Like, I literally had to break up every single part of that film. But it was the greatest lesson ever. And like art history, where you watch all these old, like, with Gold Rush and things that you go, God, how did they even make these hugely impacting films with nothing?
Yeah.
Nothing.
Yeah.
So,
Now it's all about special effects and computer graphics.
Okay, so what's your favorite film? Okay, old film.
Come on.
Old film.
My favorite old film.
Like, or your first film maybe that you ever saw that you remember
The
seeing.
first film that really made an impact on me was this Russian film called Francuski Uroki, which means the French lessons.
Ooh.
And it was shot, I believe, in the 70s or 60s. I don't remember the exact year. And it's a story behind, basically about a student and his French teacher and how they developed this relationship and just the drama and the life and everything. It's like I think I was like 7 or 6 when I first saw it. And
yeah.
I mean, for someone with that age, that film made a huge impact on me. And it was like a legitimate drama, and I was just moved.
Oh, yeah.
So I really want to see it again. I just can't find it anywhere in the U.S.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
All right, we'll have
I
to
need
find
to-
you. You need to go to the Film and TV Museum in Beverly Hills.
All right.
They probably have it.
Outing.
Yeah, right. I need to get back into my like research and all of that because I feel like I've been focused so much on writing. Yeah, I remember. I mean, the first movie that I recall seeing was Wizard of Oz, but the ones like I grew up with science fiction movies. My dad used to make us watch these awful B movies.
Oh
and,
man, come on, those are great.
They
though.
are the greatest movies. I'm serious. I'm like, you know what? I gotta hand it to these filmmakers, right? But I remember we were not allowed. We could watch. My dad would let us watch anything, but my mother was like, no, you can't watch it. But we could listen to The Shining. The Shining without seeing it is so much more horrifying.
Oh, look, your mind is gonna convince you of the
And
most
I have a
atrocious things
crazy
ever.
active mind. Like my imagination does not need any help. And so I would listen to The Shining, and they would listen to this. They would watch it like, I don't know, because the older kids, like my mom's best friend's kids, could watch it. So they would have it on, and you guys have to go in the other room, and we're like. So I goes, what the hell is red rum? What does that mean? I don't understand. And you hear it and you're like, oh my God, this is so creepy. And then here's Johnny. And you're like, is he crazy? Is he killing somebody? Like, what's going on? Because then you hear Shelley Duvall, like, or Shelley Long, like,
I would love to see the version of the film that played in your mind.
Oh, it was so great. It was really great. And then I saw it and I was like, I think my version was better. You know, it's such a great movie. You can't really knock it. But I mean, it's The Shining, and it's about a crazy writer, and I'm like, I totally understand.
There you go.
We're all functioning schizophrenics, really creative
You should
people.
meet a friend of mine who's also a writer. She just finished writing a novel, and she has a very twisted mind. She grew up perfectly normal, you know.
We all have twisted minds.
But she has
dark.
a very twisted mind, and I love her for it.
Oh, I think
she's great.
Yeah, no, you have to be all sunshine on the outside
Yeah,
so that you can
yeah,
deal with
yeah.
and write about all the things that are going
Basically,
on.
her novel, everybody dies in the end.
Oh, see, I love that.
The title of it is The Death of Us All.
I know, we have to take our break now. But I'm going to say, because I have another caller coming, I just want to say thank you so much for coming. And I'm going to promote Film Break one more time. So Film Break tomorrow night.
Tomorrow, Thursday from 7:30 until 12.
At the W.
At the W in Westwood, right by UCLA.
Thanks for tuning in. Once again, this is your host, Dawn Garcia, on ATOD Radio, savoring life one moment at a time.
This is Anthony Sykes, your host for Sykes Accounting and Consulting radio show, where we help small businesses grow and give you tax tips every Tuesday from 6 to 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Catch us here on rantradionetwork.com. Thank you.
We are the Three Guys Rant
with Arvin, Mike, and Phil.
Coming to you on the Rand Radio Network every Monday from 6 to 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time.
You can call us at 855-69-THE-3-GUYS.
It's not the Three Guys. This is why you should turn in, because one has Tourette's. The other one's illiterate.
You really should listen, then you never know what's going to happen.
855-69-3-GUYS. G-U-Y-S and the number 3, not the.
Faces for radio, voices for the deaf.
Look forward to talking to you.
Hey, I'm audio candy. I don't know about you guys.
What up, foodie freaks? It's Chef Bev Lazo with the Culinary Trend Show. Join me and my brigade every Thursday night from 8 to 9 p.m. where we will be cooking up some crazy stuff that will give you the appetite for discussion. It's all about the good food, good friends, and good times. Only here on rantradionetwork.com.
Hi, I'm Aaron Michael Sanchez.
And I'm Kelly V. Dolan.
And we are excited to announce our show Live with Aaron and Kelly is on Rant Radio Network. What do we talk about on our show, Kelly?
We talk about everything from entertainment to business and tech, and we have a few laughs in between.
That's right. Go check us out on rantradionetwork.com. That's rantradionetwork.com.
Check it out.
Hi, everyone. This is A Taste of Dawn. I'm your host, Dawn Garcia, and this is a show about indulging in this crazy thing we call life. Hello. Hi. We are back on the air, and Alex has now departed. And I just want to say thank you. Sorry, it's really, really hot in here right now. Oh, I don't see the video feed I don't see the video feed yet on the camera. Got it. So we have had such a great hour. That was the first hour, and it just flew by. I was so worried I was going to be struggling to get through that first hour, and it wasn't. It was all fun and passionate and crazy, and thank you so much, Trey, for calling in. So Trey is one of my oldest friends. I have known her, well, yeah, really one of my oldest friends. I met her when I was 16, I think. And we used to go to this bowling alley in Santa Clarita because there was nothing to do. And it was the only place that they had a bar that had pool tables. So we were illegally going into the bar, and it was no bueno. Oh, is that James on the line? Perfect. All right. So we now have, my next caller is James Wilks Lightning. I actually know him as James Lightning Wilks, but he is a UFC fighter and just one of the coolest guys. So I'm going to get him on the line right now. Hello. Oh, hello, James. Let's try that again. I'm going to push hold and maybe pick up. Hello. Hello, James?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah. Hi. Oh, I'm getting a lot of feedback. All right, we're going to work on that. How are you? Oh, you may have to call back. Not hearing anything. Okay, James, if you can hear me, call right back. All right, so James is going to call right back. But so I met James before he calls. I met him working out because I had the greatest trainer in the world, Corey Beasley, at Innovative Results in Costa Mesa. Corey would kick my ass every day, and I loved it because he would let me push myself. And I'm one of those people that I'm super competitive, and if he told me to do 10, I wanted to do 20. And it was this wonderful environment for everyone that works out there. You really will not find cooler people, more motivating people. And I was in the best shape of my life when I was working with Corey. Like, I miss being there so much. Corey, I wish I would. That's the only thing I really miss about Orange County. All right, so now I've got James on the line, so let's try that one more time. All right, are you there? Hello.
Hello.
Hi, how are you?
Good, thanks. How you doing?
I am so good. I'm so miss working out with you guys, though. It stinks.
Yeah, I haven't been down there for a while either, actually.
Oh, wait, where are you located? Are you in L.A.?
No, Laguna Hills.
Okay. Well, I'm in L.A. now, and if I had the motivation, I should just go with Carla, really.
Yeah.
But, I miss it. So how are you doing? Because I have not caught up with you in a very long time.
Things are good. I'm running my gym down in Orange County.
Right.
And I've actually got a reality show starting down there hopefully soon.
Nice.
But other than that, working on this documentary that I've been working on for a while and speaking, a lot about. I'm real big into nutrition now, so speaking about nutrition a lot.
Well, okay, so let's talk about that because obviously, my job is eating and drinking. That's part of my job anyways. And one thing I found so fascinating is because when we first met, we talked about a little bit about the film and about everything that you were working on. And I was so surprised to find out that you were a complete vegetarian. And are you vegan as well or vegetarian only?
Yeah, vegan as well. So no animal products, no meat, no dairy, no fish, no eggs.
And how have you always been, or was there just a moment where you decided either someone got sick or you just decided it wasn't good for you?
No, it was just basically a couple of years ago. I got injured training for a fight,
Mm-hmm.
and I decided to spend my time wisely, looking at nutrition, and basically everything I thought to be true. For example, the biggest myth is that we need meat for protein. All those things that I thought were true turned out not to be true after I did a lot of research. In 2011, I spent over 1,000 hours looking at peer-reviewed medical research and realized it was the marketing and the commercials and everything else that we see on TV that led me to believe that.
I'm a big fan of tempeh.
Yep, tempeh we eat that quite a bit. It's definitely
it's high in protein, high in fiber.
Soy.
Yeah, well, because I like the texture. I know some people are actually funny about texture. I prefer the texture, and I blacken mine. But it's funny. It's just the same thing as like quinoa. Quinoa is that's one of the only grains left that has not been compromised over the course of evolution. Did you know that?
Yep.
It's one of the only original grains, which is...
We eat a lot of quinoa, and other pseudo grains like amaranth, buckwheat, things like that.
Now so you're married and you have 2 or 3 children?
We actually have 4.
4. Holy moly, 4.
Yeah.
All right.
Matthew and I have 3 I have Matthew, my 3-year-old, and then three stepkids as well.
Nice.
And my wife, Alicia.
Right. And you guys are all, so everybody in the family is vegetarian, vegan?
No, actually, Matthew and my wife and I are vegan, and then my stepdaughter Annie's vegetarian. But the two other boys, they still eat some. They're vegan at our house, but they still eat some meat when they're with their dad, I think. So.
Right. And so now let me ask you this, because I know that you can get iron from most produce, actually. Do you do a lot of raw foods?
Some raw. I mean, I do like smoothies, with vegetables and fruit in. So we do some salads and things like that. We also cook some food as well, like the tempeh and things like that. So it's definitely not 100% raw. Probably 50-50, I would say.
Right. Okay. So the documentary that you were making, I know I wasn't sure how much you wanted to talk about it or not, but so my understanding of it is you have gone out and you've interviewed a lot of plant-based athletes that eat sole vegetarian, or are they all vegan or vegetarian?
They're all pretty much vegan.
Mm-hmm.
And there's we're talking to scientists, doctors, athletes, just sort of showing that these myths that we think about. The more meat you get, the more protein you get, and especially guys. A lot of men think you've got to eat meat to be tough and strong and virile, and you need all this protein. It turns out, there's plenty of protein in all the plant foods, especially things like nuts and seeds and legumes. There's more than enough protein, and unfortunately out there's this conception that we need tons and tons of protein.
Which we
protein
don't. We
was
actually need
discovered
more lean.
in sort of the 1850s, and it actually comes from the Greek word proteos, which means of prime importance.
Mm-hmm.
So protein is important, but that doesn't mean that you need loads and loads of it.
Right. Well, it has to be a balance. I mean, like everything else.
Yeah, definitely a balanced diet. And, for athletes, you need glucose. And where does glucose come from? It comes from plants. So you definitely want, there's a carb phobia a little bit in America. It's, less now than it used to be. But there used to be this whole low-carb craze. And it's really the type of carbs that you have. So you don't want refined grains.
You want whole grains.
Like white rice and refined wheat and things like that. You don't want sugar where they've taken you don't want to really extract anything out of the whole food. You want to eat whole foods from plants, really, if you want to be as healthy as possible.
Right. So now, in the process of, because I'm a big believer, anyways, of buying fresh. I think some things like smoothies, I don't mind buying like the frozen berries, or I'm not like a crazy, I'm not an extremist in any way. But I do really love, I was a crazy kid. My family loved fast food, but I never really liked it. I mean, there are things I enjoy, I guess, once in a while, but that's just not, my body craves. I love vegetables and I love fresh fruits. And I always like the weird, dragon fruit and, sort of the off the beaten path, more of the, they seem to have a lot more content in them. There's a lot more nutritional value to them. And of course, antioxidants. Everybody just thinks blueberries. I'm like, God, there's a lot of other fruits. It's not just acai. I mean, there's tremendous amount of antioxidants in foods and stuff. And so, what would you say? It's kind of the most shocking thing that you learned about food in the course of your research.
I think the biggest myth that was blown away again was the protein thing. There's this whole thing about plants not being complete, but when you're eating a variety of plant foods, you get all the amino acids that you need. So the biggest shocking thing with me was the protein. And I didn't really realize all the problems with meat, like how the saturated fat clogs the arteries, and even the animal protein itself can cause atherosclerosis, which is basically damaging to the lining of your arteries. It's called the endothelium. Mm-hmm. And for I want to look at it from an athletic performance perspective. So, how do we get as much oxygen and nutrients to the muscles so that we can grow them and recover them as quickly as possible, so we can get stronger, be more explosive? And the animal foods, the animal fat especially, and the animal protein has been shown to damage that endothelium. And the endothelium produces something called nitric oxide, and also something for a lesser degree called prostaglandin. But basically those things, prostaglandin and nitric oxide, they vasodilate, so they relax the arteries and allow all the blood flow to get to all those muscles throughout your body. And if you're eating the protein and the fat from animals, you're damaging that endothelium, and therefore you can't relax those arteries as well as they should.
So, when I hear all of these things, I think too, it's it's actually the evolution of food and the way that it's been grown and prepared. And I think it's gotten so compromised over time.
Oh, definitely.
You know, I mean, I know for myself, I'm like borderline celiac. And I honestly believe that it's something that happened in the 70s when they really changed. Because really up until then, food had been all homemade. I mean, even the meat, everything, right? It was very fresh. It wasn't mass produced. There weren't, pumped up with chemicals and hormone growths and all these things that would accelerate it. And then in the 70s, it was like this huge shift, right? And all the preservatives and everything started being pumped into food. And that's when the Wonder Breads came out and the Hostess donuts and all this junk, right?
Right.
And then I'm noticing, there's a huge rise in people who have celiac and people who have certain intolerance to food. And I honestly think it's just the processing. And
yeah, it
these
definitely
are the
is.
basic grains.
Even meat itself has changed a lot in the last 50 years. So you've got more processing. If you look at how much sugar is in cereal these days compared to how it was 50 years ago, there's a big difference.
Oh, yeah.
If you look at the number of refined products that are on the shelf, there's a big difference. And if you look at the meat, obviously there's the synthetic hormones, like you said, the antibiotics, the growth hormone. But I actually first switched. The first thing that I did is I switched to grass-fed beef.
Mm-hmm.
And it was because of all that hormones, but also because of the omega-3 to omega-6 ratio.
Mm-hmm.
We really should be having about a 3-to-1 at most omega-6 omega-3 ratio. These are essential fatty acids.
Right.
And the American population typically eats about a 20-to-1.
Oh,
so
my
it leads to a lot of inflammation and therefore to a lot of disease and also for recovery for athletes. So I switched to grass-fed beef. And that does get rid probably of about half of the problems. You're not getting the hormones.
Right.
Not getting the
the
antibiotics. But then I started looking more and more into it and realized that there was still another sort of 50% of the issues just with the meat alone.
We have to take a quick break. James, do you mind holding for just a minute?
Oh, yeah, no
It'll be
problem.
like a minute
Thanks
and a
for
half.
tuning
Okay,
in.
thank you. Once again, this is your host, Dawn Garcia, on ATOD Radio, savoring life one moment at a time.
This segment's sponsored by Mucho Macho Michelada. Whenever you got to spice up your beer, Mucho Macho Michelada is for you. Only real men.
Did you say mucho macho?
Mucho Macho, baby, where the real men come to drink.
Hey, I don't always drink michelada, but when I do, I drink mucho macho michelada.
If only Arvin could be a little more Mucho Macho.
Will it put some hair on my chest?
No, pues te quema entrando y saliendo.
The experts know that for pastry, Baker's Bodega has it all. Exclusive brands like Westco Bankmark, Satin Ice, and Pastry Pride. One-on-one day seminars for cake decorating and gelatin art. So for our service, wide range of ingredients and supplies, and for the low prices, Baker's Bodega has it all. But you don't need to be an expert. Baker's Bodega, 7869 Paramount Boulevard in Pico Rivera. Come, we're waiting for you.
We are the Three Guys Rant.
With Arvin, Mike, and Phil.
Coming to you on the Rand Radio Network every Monday from 6 to 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time.
You can call us at 855-69-THE3GUYS.
It's not the Three Guys. This is why you should turn in, because one has Tourette's. The other one's illiterate.
You really should listen, then you never know what's going to happen.
855-69-3-GUYS. G-U-Y-S and the number 3, not the.
Faces for radio, voices for the deaf.
Look forward to talking to you.
Hey, I'm audio candy. I don't know about you guys.
Welcome to the Monster Marketing Group, your one-stop shop for all your marketing needs. Anything you need to make that marketing and advertising campaign stand out, we're your people. Concept, design, production, social media, anything that you can dream up, we're going to make happen for you. And we can do it in a very quick turnaround. Please give us a call at 888-49-MONSTER.
Hi, I'm Aaron Michael Sanchez.
And I'm Kelly V. Dolan.
And we are excited to announce our show Live with Aaron and Kelly is on Rant Radio Network. What do we talk about on our show, Kelly?
We talk about everything from entertainment to business and tech, and we have a few laughs in between.
That's right. Go check us out on rantradionetwork.com. That's rantradionetwork.com.
Check it out.
Hi, everyone. This is A Taste of Dawn. I'm your host, Dawn Garcia, and this is a show about indulging in this crazy thing we call life. All right, you guys, we are back. I'm going to get James back on the line. Are you there?
Yep.
Can you hear me better?
It's a little quiet, but I can hear you okay.
Can you turn it up a tiny bit on he can't hear me. Yeah. Is that better? Better?
It's okay. Yeah.
All right, we're going to keep working on that.
That's better.
That's better? Okay, good. All right, so I was asking before, I guess. So in preparation for you, because now you are a UFC fighter, we should say that. And how long have you been doing that?
Well, I've been doing martial arts pretty much my whole life. I started when I was 8 years old with karate and took a couple of years off because there was nothing available at the school I was at. And then I did taekwondo and kickboxing and, all the different, Japanese jiu-jitsu. And then I basically got into jeet kune do, which is Bruce Lee's art. And that led me to move to California to train with the Navy SEAL unarmed combat instructor, Paul Brunet. And that was in 2000. I planned to come here just for 6 months. But I ended up, loving California and loving the martial arts training, so I ended up staying. So I've been here 13 years now. And from there, I just moved on to, the mixed martial arts competitions, which I would do occasionally.
And you're known for grappling, right? For your grappling technique?
Grappling. Originally, I was more stand-up back in England. We did a lot of striking and kickboxing. But the last 13 years, I've really, focused a lot on jiu-jitsu, and I really enjoy that too.
So now, do you have anything coming up? Any fights or anything?
No, I actually had to retire due to injuries. I broke my neck when I was younger playing rugby.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah, basically, the bones are kept growing inwards, and they now are touching my spinal cord. So the doctors recommended that I should stop. So I had 6 fights left on the contract with UFC, and last year I decided I had to retire, unfortunately.
So now, when you did prepare for a fight, well, that's probably a big transition, though, right? Or you just focus more, not to backtrack, but to go from always, because you kind of are in consistent training mode, right? You might have a few months off, but you really have to, when you are training, it's pretty intense.
Yeah, you'll lower the level of training, and then when a fight comes up, sort of 2 months before that, before the fight, then you'll start really ramping up the training.
And then, so now, because your focus now is on your gym and training others, right?
Correct. Yeah, I'm focusing on the gym, Lightning MMA. We've had open 4 years now. We've also got Mike the Joker Diamond, who is also a UFC veteran and King of the Cage, multiple-time champion. And so we both teach all the classes, pretty much all the classes there at the gym. So that's one of my focuses. And then the other is, the nutrition. I'm a big advocate of the plant-based nutrition, sort of letting other people know what I learned.
So now, other than the documentary, have you started any kind of program through your gym to educate people or to at least give them? Because I know I can't remember the guy's name that you were working out with. He worked out at our gym, and he was totally like whatever on the plant-based, and he totally transitioned from doing it. I remember you started him off doing like 1 day a week, and then I think it's not James. What's the guy's name?
I don't know who did it now.
He's Asian guy, and he worked out with us all the time. He was always at IR, and he started out doing 1 day. You challenged him, and he was like, "Oh, all right, I'll do 1 day," and then he ended up going complete vegetarian.
You're talking about Joey?
Joey, yes, Joey.
Yeah.
And has he stuck with it?
He would make jokes of me and bring in these big pictures of some, all the cuts of meat and say you got to eat meat every day. And then he tried 1 day a week, started feeling a little bit better, and then
he lost a bunch of weight too.
I don't know if he's 100%, but that's the thing. You don't have to necessarily be 100% to get some benefits. It's just having more of your calories from plants rather than having it, all from meat really and dairy products really.
Yeah, I really do like meat, but I probably eat meat once a week or once every 2 weeks. I'm not a big. I do eat vegetarian most of the time. Vegan. I don't eat poultry. I will not eat poultry. I was part of a very weird experiment when I was in high school. It was an environmental studies class, and no one had ever done anything like this. And our teacher really educated us on how, like, turkeys and chickens and meat was raised, and really what they do to it, and the abuse side of it, and all this stuff. And so I was completely vegan for 5 years, and felt great. But then I have low blood sugar, and at the time I wasn't very educated either. I mean, I was like, 17 or something like that. And then I started eating meat again, but I would just do like lean beef. And it's funny because now, like I tried to get back to poultry and I got salmonella 6 times. So I really very rarely, like if I do fish, it's sushi. I don't really like, it's funny how your body changes so much, but I've learned even with sushi, even fish, some of the things that are in there, like some of the chemicals and stuff that they treat the fish with, that people don't pay attention to, that they're not all clean.
Yeah, well, there's also a lot of mercury that gets.
Well, yeah, the mercury is a huge.
There's a lot of runoff actually from the livestock. The livestock takes a lot of grain that they eat, typically in America, and so all the pesticides that grow those grain actually runs off into the oceans and causes what's actually called bioaccumulation. So those toxins actually end up in the fish, and then as you go up the food chain, as the big fish eat the little fish, you get even more of those toxins.
Right. So now, because I know there's so much that I would love to talk. Well, you're going to have you come back or call back. But now that you're just transitioning from competing, is your focus really more on the documentary? And I don't know if you heard earlier, but the gentleman that I had on my show, they actually, their whole sole purpose is to fund and distribute and market films.
Oh, really? No, I didn't. I actually wasn't able to. I wanted to listen to it actually on a...
Well, I need to put you guys in touch because that's really the issue, right? Is the funding and the time.
Yeah, definitely. It takes a lot of funding. It takes a while to get where we're at. But,
I told him about the film, so you'll have to send me. I know a long time ago you had sent me some information. Unfortunately, my computer crashed. So if you can resend me that, then I think I'm going to put you guys in touch because it's so worth getting out there. And you're coming from a very different place from somebody who's just like a diehard vegetarian. You're coming from a professional athlete background, which not a lot of people can attest to.
Right.
And just the process of how it's changed your life and how it's changed. I remember you telling me about some of the people that you had been interviewing for the documentary, and I don't want to say too much, but just one of the kids that you had interviewed that was in high school, I think. Right? Yeah. That was a huge transition from getting him healthy. And you're still working with him, right?
Yes, yeah, we are. And also, people talk about the lean beef.
Mm-hmm.
I just sent Alexis, your assistant, I sent her a picture on Facebook.
Oh, yeah.
Of a label from beef. And it's a little bit misleading, and the industry does this. If you look at, say, something that's 10% fat, they always do it by weight rather than by calories, so that tricks people a little bit. So if they add a little bit more water, then the percentage of fat by weight might only be 10%. But I don't know if you can bring that up on your screen.
Oh yeah.
On your radio show, but
you know what? Hang on, let me just have her send that. It's to Rant Radio Network at Gmail. She's gonna send you this picture really quick. Okay, so just give us a second to pull that up. But yeah.
Yeah. So if any of your viewers are watching on the Rant Radio, maybe they can see that picture, but. The industry is quite misleading, and so, one, for example, is you'll see on some of the chicken, it says we don't use hormones from our chicken, but you're actually not, with chicken, you're not actually allowed to use hormones in the United States anyway, so it's a little bit misleading. It's a little bit like saying this banana is gluten-free, because bananas are gluten-free anyway.
Right.
And so, with the beef example, beef might be 10% fat, or 90% lean. But if you actually look at the calories, you've got to look at the nutrition labels on the back. It turns out the calories are still actually 50% of the calories are coming from fat. So you've really got to educate yourself, and people should be looking at the nutrition labels. If they're eating food with nutrition labels, preferably if you're eating lots of fruits and vegetables, they won't even have labels. But if you are eating things with labels, you should really learn to read the nutrition facts and see how much sodium they add to it, and see how much saturated fat.
Okay, so they were able to pull this up. So so it says you were, so 90% lean, 10% fat, and that is...
Okay. And most people would say, 10% fat, that's not much fat. But if you look at the nutrition facts labels there...
Which is 11 grams of fat.
Calories, and if you look at the top, calories 200, calories from fat 100.
So it's almost 50%.
200 is 50%.
Right.
So it's very misleading because on the front they can put it by weight, but by law on the back they have to list it by calories, which is the more important thing. It's still 50% of your calories coming from fat, so it's very misleading. I'm just not pointing out because of beef.
Well, no, but I mean, you made the point too. You made the point of having grass-fed. I mean, at least you offer the alternatives, and the best way to if you're going to eat meat, the best way to eat it is to have grass-fed beef. And I do think that people have a very sort of misled idea of what it means to be vegan. You know, they think it's just tofu, and I'm like, there's a lot, like you were saying. I mean, beans and grains and all these things that so many people don't pay attention to are proteins and fibers and vitamins and calcium and all these other things that your body needs, and lots of protein.
Yeah, definitely. And I think the main thing is that people think that I'm excluding a lot and I only eat twigs and leaves. I've even had students say that, so you only eat twigs and leaves. But there's actually like 200,000 plant species, edible plant species, and how many types of animals do we eat? We eat like pigs, chickens, cows.
Right.
And then, cow's milk and eggs. There's only like 5 or 6 things that I don't eat, and there's lots of things. And so the menu, my wife's a great cook, and I'm very fortunate for that, and she really looks after us and makes lots of good, vegan dishes.
Mm-hmm.
And I actually end up eating a lot more variety than I used to. I used to really eat a lot of extra lean chicken or extra lean turkey and broccoli with brown rice, and that would be pretty much my staple most days. And the thing is, people see the animal products as like the building blocks of nutrition, and then they see fruits and vegetables as having maybe a little bit of vitamin C or good for your immune system. But really, the plant foods can also be the building blocks of your diet plan.
Okay, so we actually have to wrap up this segment, but now I have a question to put you on the spot.
Oh.
So can I interview you for the magazine?
Oh, definitely.
Because it would give me a much broader platform to really go into the details, and if you've read any of my writing, it'll be pretty descriptive and pretty true to your message.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Okay,
and,
go ahead. No, go ahead.
I was just going to say, if anyone's interested in looking at some of the information out there, the best thing is to go to our Facebook, which
yes.
is facebook.com/plant athlete.
So PLANT athlete, and then Lightning MMA is it Costa Mesa? No.
It's Laguna Hills.
In Laguna Hills.
lightningmma.com, and anyone that's listening to A Taste of Dawn can actually get 2 weeks free if they want to come down. So
awesome. Cool. I will make sure that I post that on Facebook. And can you also send me all of your Twitter and Facebook and everything else in a text? Okay, perfect. Thank you so much, James. Have a wonderful day.
Once again.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks.
Garcia on ATOD Radio, savoring life one moment at a time.
Welcome to the Monster Marketing Group, your one-stop shop for all your marketing needs. Anything you need to make that marketing and advertising campaign stand out, we're your people. Concepts, design, production, social media, anything that you can dream up, we're going to make happen for you. And we can do it in a very quick turnaround. Please give us a call at 888-49-MONSTER.
What up, foodie freaks? It's Chef Bev Lazo with the Culinary Trend Show. Join me and my brigade every Thursday night from 8 to 9 p.m. where we will be cooking up some crazy stuff that will give you the appetite for discussion. It's all about the good food, good friends, and good times. Only here on rantradionetwork.com.
We are the Three Guys Rant
with Arvin, Mike, and Phil.
Coming to you on the Rant Radio Network every Monday from 6 to 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time.
You can call us at 855-69-THE3GUYS.
It's not the Three Guys. This is why you should turn in, because one has Tourette's, the other one's illiterate.
You really should listen in. You never know what's going to happen.
855-69-3GUYS, G-U-Y-S, and the number 3, not the.
Faces for radio, voices for the deaf.
Look forward to talking to you.
Hey, I'm audio candy. I don't know about you guys.
This is Anthony Sykes, your host for Sykes Accounting and Consulting radio show, where we help small businesses grow and give you tax tips every Tuesday from 6 to 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Catch us here on rantradionetwork.com. Thank you.
This segment segment sponsored by Mucho Macho Michelada. Whenever you got to spice up your beer, Mucho Macho Michelada is for you. Only real men.
Did you say mucho macho?
Mucho Macho, baby, where the real men come to drink.
Hey, I don't always drink michelada, but when I do, I drink mucho macho michelada.
If only Arvin could be a little more mucho macho.
Will it put some hair on my chest?
No, but te quema entrando y saliendo.
This segment has been brought to you by Coco Cafe. It's a cafe latte coconut water with espresso. And I came across this wonderful little drink just recently, and it has to be one of the best things I've ever had. I'm pretty obsessed with cocoa water and espresso, so the thought of it together was a little bit, I wasn't sure what I was going to get, but my gosh, let me tell you, it's super tasty. It's made with natural coconut water, a strong shot of espresso, and a splash of reduced fat milk. You can visit them online for more information at drinkcococafe.com. Once again, I want to thank everyone at Coco Cafe for being a sponsor of this radio show. Thanks so much. Hi, everyone. This is A Taste of Dawn. I'm your host, Dawn Garcia, and this is a show about indulging in this crazy thing we call life. All right, you guys, we're back, and in a few minutes, we actually have our last caller. I cannot believe, by the way, how quick this 2 hours went by. I was so worried that I was going to struggle, and I haven't, so thank you. So thanks to Alex, by the way, of Film Break, who came down here, and Darren for letting him come down here. Make sure you guys go to filmbreak.com and sign up so that you can attend tomorrow night's event at the W in Westwood. And also, how awesome is James? He's giving anybody who's listening or reads the magazine or mentions A Taste of Dawn 2 weeks free at Lightning MMA in Laguna Hills. And all I can tell you is you will feel empowered at the end of that time. So make sure that you guys do that, and I'm going to make sure that we have all the information up there for you. And then I also have, do I have Cynthia on the line now?
Hello.
Hi. Okay, so right now, you guys, I have Cynthia Presser, Cynthia Presser. I'm going to say it right. Cynthia Presser, who is a chef and is calling me from Brazil. So let's tell everybody a little bit about who you are before we even go on.
Hello?
Yes, did you hear that?
I'm sorry, can you repeat, Dawn?
Yes. So you're like, repitan, por favor. Okay, so can you please tell listeners a little bit about who you are and what you do as a chef?
Yes. Well, my name is Cynthia Presser, and I am a passionate Brazilian cook. I was first taking part of your show as one of the ABC's The Taste participant, where I had an amazing time. And today I'm here to talk about my upcoming cookbook. It's called Cooking with a Brazilian Twist. And I could not be more excited about how the book's coming along. So pretty exciting things.
I know. I am so excited for you. That's just... what a quick evolution too. And how long did it take you to work on the book?
I've been working on the book for 2 years now. So this is, are you there, Dawn?
I am. I'm here. Yes.
Okay. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay.
Yes. I've been working in the book for the past 2 years. So, and it's the realization of a lifelong dream of mine that started with my blog 2 years ago, but I've been cooking for the past 20 years, actually.
Wow. And now your cookbook is, I know you're a native Brazilian, and now where in Brazil are you? You said you're in your hometown.
Yes.
Oh, go ahead.
Sorry, I think you cut off a little bit. I am in my hometown right now. I am currently in Brazil. It's a place called Curitiba. It's in the state of Paraná, and it's in the south of Brazil. It's gorgeous here. Brazil is a huge country, and we have a huge variety of different foods throughout the country. And here we are very well known in the south for the meat and the fish. And I am here to actually shoot the book cover. The cookbook cover.
Wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
So, okay, and I'm looking at some of the pictures, actually. We're having a hard time pulling them up for whatever reason right now, but I will post them. So, what would you say is your most, your twist on traditional Brazilian, like, staple?
I have. Hello?
Yeah.
Okay, I have 50 Brazilian recipes in this book, and I have another 50 recipes, which are, many of them are twists in Brazilian, in international cuisine with Brazilian ingredients. And I have also some recipes from my travels, that I travel the world, and I am sharing recipes from everywhere. So it's a collection of 100 recipes that are my favorites. My cuisine is very approachable. My style of cooking is very approachable. So I wanted to share with the American people the exotic ingredients from Brazil, the approachable, actually, the approachable techniques from Brazil. And I want to introduce the Brazilian cuisine to people. My dream is to someday make Brazilian cuisine just as popular as any other exotic cuisine these days in the United States, like a Mexican or Indian or Thai cuisine. Everybody knows them and everybody loves them.
Right.
And this is my goal. I want to make Brazilian cuisine just as popular, and people will see how easy and approachable it is once, they get my book.
Yes. Now, when is it set to be all ready and published?
It is available now on Kickstarter.com, but it should be published mid-May.
Okay. And then where will it be available after that?
It will be available on Amazon.com and on my website.
Okay. Well, we will have to do, I'm interviewing Renee. We're going to have to interview you next for the magazine and promote the book. And you said how much? So you said there'll be 50 recipes or 100?
It's 100 recipes. 50 of them are Brazilian recipes.
Oh, and
most
the rest
of them. I'm sorry?
And the rest of the world, your global recipes.
Right. So it's 50 Brazilian recipes and another 50 worldwide inspired recipes. And a lot of them are fusion. I love to fuse or mix Brazilian ingredients into other kinds of cuisines. So that's a big part of my book as well.
And now I'm looking at the pictures are actually up, and it looks like you're looking at, I don't know if it's a taro root or...
That's yucca root.
Yucca root. Okay, yucca. Okay.
Yes, it's an ingredient. It's a Brazilian ingredient that is extremely popular here. And I start to see it more and more. It's becoming more and more popular in the United States. You can find it in major grocery stores these days, but most of the people just pass by it and have no idea how to use it. And it's so tasty, it's so healthy, and it's so delicious. I have several recipes. It's a potato-like root.
Right.
And I have several recipes in my book that use yucca.
So now, because texture-wise, it's almost a cross between like a potato and a jicama.
Right.
Right? It's a very moist.
Very moist, very flavorful. It's a little bit more fibrous, but it has such a great flavor. I am a big fan. I like more than potatoes, in my opinion.
Yes.
It is, it's not too starchy root at all. So it's gluten-free. It's just a healthy, great ingredient.
Yeah, well, I'm a big fan of doing like root vegetables and just in general eating as fresh as possible. So I love that. I'm assuming most of your recipes, everything is all fresh based and.
Right. Most of my recipes are fresh based. I am a huge fan of getting to the farmer's market, getting fresh ingredients. And that's the base. For us here in Brazil, that's not a big deal. That's what people do it. People do it every day here. You go to the market, you get your fresh fruits and vegetables, or you go to your garden and you get some of your vegetables and your herbs from your garden. That's what I did today here to make lunch at my mom's house. So it's healthier. It's better for you.
Right,
so,
right.
Yeah.
So, okay, so then here's my other question. So now, does your son, is he pretty open to trying new things?
No, not right now.
I know my daughter, she has a good palate because I used to make all of her own. I made everything when she was a baby. Like I wasn't going to buy anything. I was determined. She had colic, so I was like very shied away from any chemical anything. But now it's funny because I mean, she's 6 and she would be happy with like mac and cheese and Hebrew Nationals. But thankfully, she will try a lot of different things. But I think it's going to be one of those things where, especially your son, because he's going to be exposed to all these things, it'll just be one of those random days and he'll just say, okay, I'm ready to try these things.
I am really hoping for that day to come because he used to be just the best eater of all times. He used to eat everything I would cook, no matter what. And then one day he decided not to eat anymore. So I was like, well, okay, we're going to have to, he has no idea what he's missing.
You know what? So, it's just a phase, I promise you, because they go in phase. Because how old is your son? 3? 4?
He's 3 years old.
Yeah, 3. So he'll go through a phase and he'll not want anything and then he'll get curious again and then he'll not want it again. I think it's the nature of children, unfortunately.
That's exactly what I heard before. That's going to go away and I'm, just waiting for that day to come.
Yeah, it's funny because I always you'll feel too like you're doing a good job when you realize that yours is the one that actually likes fruits and vegetables and doesn't just want junk. I'm always happy that my daughter, she'll try vegetables. Not always. I mean, she goes on her little rampages where she just wants one thing. But it is interesting.
How old is she now?
She's 6. So
okay, well,
so she tries more, but it's a different challenge though because she, I think just really up until 5, and then all of a sudden, their whole personalities just really become apparent. It's less of you and your husband and way more of them. And when that starts, I'm seeing more of her, and she's very curious, and she's also spoiled because when we go to restaurants, and I know the chefs, they'll take her and make whatever she can fancy up. So she thinks that the world is a little bit more free than.
That is so funny. Now there is one of my recipes that Sebastian is crazy about. He's crazy about my cheese bread recipe, which is a bread that has tapioca flour in it. So it's a gluten-free kind of bread, and I have 2 different recipes for it in my cookbook. It's so gooey and delicious and cheesy, and every kid is crazy about it. Kids and adults, like you just make it and get it from off the oven. It's so good. So that is one of the recipes that he really loves.
Oh, I can't wait. I can't wait to just see this all in pictures. Like, I'm really excited. So when it's for sale, wait, you said it is for sale now, or you can pre-sale?
We are on pre-sale on Kickstarter.com.
Oh, right. You know what?
Are you familiar with Kickstarter?
I am. And if you want to send me, no, because I did post it. I actually posted it. Do you have it on your page?
I do have a link. I can get you here a link really quick. Do you prefer it in your email?
You can send it on Facebook, and I'll post it right now.
Okay, perfect. Okay, I can send you here.
Instant gratification, right?
I'm sorry?
I said it's instant gratification.
Right.
Oh, you know what? I see it. I see it.
Right, and I am so excited about the project.
Cynthia, you have to hold on for just 1 second. We have to take a quick break.
Sure.
Okay, sorry about that. Thank you.
No problem.
Thanks for tuning in. Once again, this is your host, Dawn Garcia, on ATOD Radio, savoring life one moment at a time. Welcome to the Monster Marketing Group, your one-stop shop for all your marketing needs. Anything you need to make that marketing and advertising campaign stand out, we're your people. Concepts, design, production, social media, anything that you can dream up, we're going to make happen for you. And we can do it in a very quick turnaround. Please give us a call at 888-49-MONSTER.
What up, foodie freaks? It's Chef Bev Lazo with the Culinary Trend Show. Join me and my brigade every Thursday night from 8 to 9 p.m. where we will be cooking up some crazy stuff that will give you the appetite for discussion. It's all about the good food, good friends, and good times. Only here on RantRadioNetwork.com.
the Three Guys Rant.
With Arvin, Mike, and Phil.
Coming to you on the Rant Radio Network every Monday from 6 to 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time.
You can call us at 855-69 The Three Guys.
It's not the Three Guys. This is why you should turn in, because one has Tourette's, the other one's illiterate.
You really should listen in. You never know what's going to happen.
855-69 Three Guys. G-U-Y-S and the number 3, not the.
Faces for radio, voices for the deaf.
Look forward to talking to you.
Hey, I'm audio candy. I don't know about you guys.
This is Anthony Sykes, your host for Sykes Accounting and Consulting radio show, where we help small businesses grow and give you tax tips every Tuesday from 6 to 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Catch us here on rantradionetwork.com. Thank you.
This segment's sponsored by Mucho Macho Michelada. Whenever you got to spice up your beer, Mucho Macho Michelada is for you. Only real men.
Did you say mucho macho?
Mucho Macho, baby, where the real men come to drink.
Hey, I don't always drink michelada, but when I do, I drink mucho macho michelada.
If only Arvin could be a little more Mucho Macho.
Will it put some hair on my chest?
No, pues te quema entrando y saliendo.
Hi, everyone. This is A Taste of Dawn. I'm your host, Dawn Garcia, and this is a show about indulging in this crazy thing we call life. I can't. Oh, there we go. Can you hear me now?
I can hear you.
Okay, so the music is about to fade. Sorry, hang on one second. Okay, so I'm posting it now on the Taste of Dawn page. So hopefully we'll get that going. So if you guys are listening, please go check out. For one, go to facebook.com, Cynthia Presser. How is it spelled out on the page?
Is
it Cooking with a Twist?
Cynthia, just like Cynthia.
Right. No, but I mean for the Facebook page. It's facebook.com, and then is it Cooking with a Twist at the end, or?
It's Cynthia Presser, Cooking with a Twist.
Okay, so and I'm posting it on my page. So if you guys are listening, go ahead and find it, like her page, and support the cookbook as well, with the Kickstarter link that I'm providing. And I'm so excited to have you on, and I really can, like, seriously, those pictures from the marketplace look so fun.
It was great. I mean, I really wanted to show people the energy and the vibrant colors of our ingredients right away, even before they opened the pages of the book. So I decided to make this trip, of course, seeing my family and friends, but to do this cover here, because I think just when you are in the place, you can really translate that image, that energy so much better. So
yes,
it was amazing. It's so worth it. I am so happy with the results, and I cannot wait to share the actual cover with everybody.
Well, I'm so excited, and I just want to say thank you for calling in from Brazil. You're the first caller ever to do Skype, so I know we'll probably have to work on a little bit of the feedback, but I'm just excited that you were able to do it, and so thank you so much for calling in.
Oh my gosh, you're welcome. It's a pleasure. I mean, it's just amazing how these days with Skype, everything's so much easier.
It really is. You can be in Brazil and be on the radio in LA.
I love it. Thank you so much for having me, Dawn.
You're so welcome, and I cannot wait. So are you, you are in, what state do you live in now? You're not in Chicago.
Paraná.
Okay.
I live in Paraná, that's the state, and the city is called Curitiba.
Curitiba. And then in the U.S., where are you?
Oh, I'm sorry. In the U.S.,
okay.
I am in Indiana.
In Indiana. Okay, so do you know Christopher Hill?
Christopher Hill?
Bachelor Kitchen?
No. Is he from Indianapolis?
He is, you know what, he's in that area. I'm going to have to connect you guys.
I would love to.
Yeah, because you guys would be fun on a show together.
Oh, I would love to.
Yeah, I'll have to connect that for you. So, all right, my dear, well, have a wonderful rest of your day. Enjoy your family and your beautiful little, do you call him Sebe? Or it's just Sebastian?
Just Sebastian.
Sebastian, so enjoy your Sebastian. Yes, enjoy it and have fun with your family. And thank you again for taking the time to call in.
Thank you so much, Dawn. You have a wonderful day.
You too. Thank you, Cynthia.
Bye-bye.
Okay, bye. All right, you guys. So we are on our last 10 minutes, and I'm going to really quick. I just want to say thank you again, because I didn't really get to finish talking about the UFC and James offering any of my listeners the 2 weeks free at Lighting MMA. And when I tell you it's going to be such a great workout, like, you guys got to go. Seriously. You are? good. Julio's going to go. Julio Ramos. Okay, so he's going. I have it on the air, so he's got to go. But really, just James is a force. I mean, he is the nicest guy that you're ever going to meet. He's super passionate about what he does, and he's really motivating. So between him and Corey, I just there's a lot of there's so much. They push you to like really want to go as far as you can go physically, and I don't mean compete. I just mean they allow you to tap into who you are and what you're capable of as a human being and your physicalities. Like they pushed me farther than I ever thought. I mean, I was pushing these huge tires, and I was doing it with Carla Espinoza, who is this. I want to make sure I actually have that right because I do not want to say that wrong. Esparza. So she is a kick-ass MMA champ, and her and I, like, she's this little tiny beautiful girl, and she's a champion, and she just fights all the time and is so amazing at what she does. I don't mean fight like fist fight. I mean like she's an MMA fighter. Super talented, so sweet. And I would be with her next to her, and she's super motivating. But just having this environment when you're working out, and I'm not an athlete in any way, shape, or form, but just to be in the room with these people and know that it didn't really matter if I was an athlete or not. The fact of the matter is I wouldn't get pushed farther than I was capable, but I was encouraged to at least challenge myself. And that is what I'm very competitive. So it was ideal for me. So yes, go to Lightning MMA and support Carla too, because she's a kick-ass MMA fighter, and Anthony Frank, who is also a kick-ass fighter. All of these guys I got to work out with at Innovative Results in Costa Mesa. So between those two, you will be taken care of. So, and then I also wanted to say how cool it was that Alex came by for Film Break. And for all those filmmakers out there, it really is very, very hard to find the support that you need. And so the fact that they've created an environment that's there to nurture you and foster your creativity and push you in the right direction, give you the right feedback, and create an environment that's going to account for your success and a successful release of a film and distribution and all those things that are really, really important. In the digital world, in the digital media world, there are so many different apps out there and websites claiming to do different things, and they have a pretty proven success rate, which is something that you always want to affiliate yourself with. The ones that have actually tried and true have failed and succeeded, and it's really important. I mean, coming from a film, I can tell you that the most crucial aspect of sustaining your career in the film industry or the entertainment industry is to know that you're going to fail a lot and be okay with it. Like, you're going to fail, but it's just going to make you so much better and have such a clear idea of where you're heading. It's a wonderful industry if you're in it. And I know it's crazy and wild, and you could definitely go down a wrong path, but it is absolutely, for me, it's my life. I could not survive without just the creative vibe that comes from film and music and art and radio now, all these different media outlets. I mean, it's just the fact that you have a voice and it gives you this opportunity to connect with all these extraordinary people in the world. There's nothing like it. I mean, I just got off the phone with Cynthia in Brazil, and she's this beautiful soul and has such passion for what she does. And how wonderful that we actually can have something like that happen. So anyways, I'm very grateful. So today has been a great first day. And first Wednesday, 2-hour show. I can't believe I've made it. But the other thing I wanted to talk about really quick is I am on the quest for a perfect martini. So I know that we all know James Bond, shaken, not stirred. But let's face it, I'm not a gin girl, and I'm a vodka girl. And I've tried gin martinis, but I cannot find a good vodka martini. Everybody thinks they make it, but the problem is they actually it's just like vodka in a martini cup. Nothing to it. And I like a vodka typically I like Grey Goose. I'm spoiled a little bit, but I do like a Grey Goose or even a Stoli vodka martini up. Thank you. Vodka martini up, extra dirty with 3 blue cheese stuffed olives. That's like my ideal. I used to have martini parties, and I would make any kind of creative martini that I could. And while now I'm not a huge martini drinker, it's because I haven't found a good one. So if you make a good one and you think that you could just wow me with your ability to actually add vermouth, because that's the big problem, I want to see it. So reach out to me if you're watching. Find me on Facebook at facebook.com, A Taste of Dawn, ATOD, or on Twitter, and that's at A Taste of Dawn via Twitter. And then, of course, you can email me through atodmagazine.com. Just go to the contact button, fill out the form, and it will find me. So I also want to say that the magazine is growing at an exponential rate. So I have been bringing on, I went from me being the writer, this is what I was saying at the top of the hour, to now I have 8 writers staffed, and it looks like there's going to be more. So now I'm looking for interns. I am looking for interns that will be in the Los Angeles area, typically West LA. So I'm talking to UCLA students, Santa Monica College, Pasadena College, those of you who have an interest in the digital publishing world and who have a background in marketing. It doesn't have to be one or the other, but I need somebody with a passion and drive for marketing, advertising, and in business development. And if that's you and you want to hone your skills and take something that is a solid platform and make it grow, I would love to talk to you. So please send me your information and resume at ATOD, ATOD, at atodplus.com. That's ATOD at atodplus.com. And I just, you'll get student credit. I'm going to be working with the colleges, so you'll get credit for your time with me. But really, I'm just looking for somebody with a background in advertising and marketing, and really just to kind of take this to the next level. And also, those of you who have an interest in branding, I would also like to speak with you. That's it, really. And if you are a writer and you want to see your name published in a magazine that reaches millions, which is crazy, but that's so cool, and it's global reach. So anywhere in the world, if you are a writer and you would like to have an opportunity, or a photographer, I would like to hear from you. So please email me again, atod at atodplus. And the other thing is I have the Austin Food Wine Festival coming up, and I'm so excited. But I am reaching out now because I have my photographer that was going to be able to go can't go. And I'm going to be looking for a photographer who would like to be published in the magazine and accompany me to all the events. So if you are a photographer and you think you've got what it takes to photograph actual, more like photojournalism style, so you're going to have to just do stuff on the fly, take pictures of food, take pictures of people, see great music, eat amazing food, come with me to interviews, and really just meet this profound group of talent, I would like to hear from you. So if you're interested, please contact me. And the best way to reach me there is, let's see, the best way. You know what? I don't want to say my phone number on the air, but you can go to ATOD Magazine and hit the contact button, and in the subject line, put Austin, and I will make sure that I respond to you right away. So again, that's kind of what I'm looking for. And I just want to say thanks for sticking with me, because I know the transition from Tuesday, Thursday from 1 hour to 2 hours is a bit of a stretch. And I am so grateful that I am able to condense everything into one great show. Next week, I have comedian Jonathan Dane, and I'm lining up some chefs to call in, and some winemakers as well. And I'm hoping to have a filmmaker on board, or an artist. So I'm kind of reaching out. I would really like to have Jay Kelly on, who is this extraordinary artist who's out of Venice and Los Angeles. And I may have to call in a favor to see if I can get him on the air, because he's an artist that you must see. So if the boys at Axiom are listening, please. Anyways, that's all I have to say. So we are going to be back next Wednesday at noon. Please tune in again. And thanks to my guests, Alex, how did you say? Kanish. Kanish. I want to make sure I say that right. And James Lightning Wilks, and of course Cynthia Presser for coming in. And thanks, Trey, for calling in. Just thanks for sticking with me. So I just also want to congratulate everybody out there who follows me, because the next person to hit 15,000 on Facebook is going to get something pretty awesome. So help me get to 15,000 on Facebook. And if you get me to 25,000 on Twitter, something even cooler. So I'm at 23,500 on Twitter, which is extraordinary. So thank you so much for being a part of everything. And don't forget to live life well and find the sexy in everything that you do. Thanks. Thanks for tuning in. Once again, this is your host, Dawn Garcia, on ATOD Radio, savoring life one moment at a time.